The drama over the launch of the controversial book, My Watch, just took another turn as a federal high court in Abuja found former President Olusegun Obasanjo guilty of contempt. Justice Valentine Ashi, in a ruling, gave the former president 21 days from today to show cause why he should not be punished for contempt for going ahead to publish the book in spite of the ex parte interim order made by the court on December the 5th and a pending libel suit involving him. Justice Ashi refrained from further publishing, printing, or offering for sale his autobiography, My Watch, which content touches on the subject matter before the court. The Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the Department of State Services, and the Controller of Customs have been ordered to recover the published book from all bookstands, sales agents, vendors, the sea and airports, and deposit them with his court's registrar pending the determination of the substantive suit.
Another thing you don't know, the man went to court.
He further ordered that the enrolled orders of the court be served on all media houses in the country and be equally served on the defendant by publication in 2 national dailies. The judge had on December the 5th granted ex parte interim orders restraining former President Obasanjo from proceeding with plans to publish the book or have it published for him, and fixed December the 10th as the return date for the hearing.
I'm going privately to the President.
Chief Olusegun Obasanjo launched a 3-part autobiography in Lagos where he took a swipe at President Jonathan, former Vice President Abubakar Atiku, former Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu, and others. He also accused some former governors of promoting the third term agenda. Meanwhile, former President Olusegun Obasanjo has appealed the judgment delivered by Honorable Justice Valentine Ashi of the Federal High Court, Abuja. In his appeal, the former president said that the learned trial judge erred in law and acted without jurisdiction in directing the police and security agencies to seize the defendant's book, My Watch, from any vendor, and directing the defendant to show cause within 21 days on why he should not be committed to prison for contempt of court.
Authority for that type of information.
In the light of the foregoing, the former president is seeking an order setting aside the ruling of the lower court made on Wednesday, the 10th of December 2014, and all the orders made thereunder, and an order transferring this suit to the Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory for reassignment to another judge. The Southwest People's Democratic Party, PDP, Organization and Mobilization Chairman Mr. Burji Kashimu had previously asked an Abuja High Court to restrain the defendant, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, from publishing his new book, My Watch. A federal high court in Abuja will, on December the 16th, 2014, commence hearing of the application for stay of proceedings in the suit brought before it by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal.
With every sense of humility,
some members of Tambuwal's constituents, Kebbi Tambuwal Federal Constituency of Sokoto State, had in 2 separate applications asked the court to stay proceedings in the suit. Their applications for stay of proceedings were hinged on the grounds that they had filed notices of appeal against the ruling of the court, which had on Monday disallowed them to be joined as defendants in the suit. The constituents are opposed to Tambuwal's removal as Speaker and declaration of his seat vacant, arguing that removing him will deprive them of representation in the House of Reps. This development stalled the proceedings at the court, which was scheduled for the hearing of the Speaker's application, seeking an order of court to jail the Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, for allegedly violating an order of the court.
As you recall, the court refused the application to join, as a result of which they now decided to appeal and also ask for stay of proceedings, because certain papers were not, because they would need to react to certain papers or processes filed, and they are entitled to that. The court, in the spirit of the principle of fair hearing, adjourned the matter till Tuesday.
I'm your brother.
Yo soy su hermano.
It's a no-no for Prophet Temitope Joshua.
Soy su hermano.
I'm not a deliverer.
No.
As the coroner probing the September 12 synagogue building collapse, Magistrate Oyetade Komolafe dismissed his application, seeking a temporary suspension of the inquest, calling it an abuse of court processes. According to him, there were no applicants and respondents or plaintiffs and defendants in the coroner's court, but only witnesses and interested parties. Joshua's application for stay of proceedings dated November 11, 2014, came after filing an application before a Lagos State High Court in Ikeja. In the said application before Justice Latifat Okunu, Joshua asked for a judicial review of the coroner's proceedings, which began on October 13. Among others, he had asked the High Court to determine whether the witness summons served on him to appear before the coroner to give testimony was not a violation of his rights. He further contested that the coroner had been extending his inquisitions into areas beyond its statutory purview.
Newspaper publications.
According to Joshua's lawyer, Mr. Olalekon Ujo, the duty of the coroner was limited to determining what killed the victims of the collapsed building and nothing more.
Best ways of doing so.
Ojo argued that it was beyond the scope of the coroner to delve into the questions of what was responsible for the collapse of the building itself. Komolafe added that granting such request will amount to him acting beyond its statutory power.
Invitation to court.
The coroner upheld the argument of Lagos State government that filing an application before a higher court did not automatically amount to an order to stay proceedings at the lower court. Komolafe held that if Justice Okunu had intended to give an order to restrain the proceedings of the coroner court, she would have done it at the point when she gave Joshua the leave to ask for a judicial review of coroner's inquest. He therefore adjourned till Friday, December 12, 2014, to proceed with the inquest.
And that will wrap it up for us on this week's edition of Law Weekly on Channels Television. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Victoria Ido. I'm willing to hear from you via the addresses on your screen. Until I see you again, you need to know your rights.